First Wife channel, and no, I am not Tangy. I am her daughter, Emily, and Mother's Day is coming up, so I thought it would be really fun to do a cool little treat on her channel. So today we are going to be making cake pops, but we are going to be decorating them to look like flowers. So, as you can see, I have our ingredients spread out for us, and I think without further ado, we should just go ahead and get started. So the first thing you're going to want to do is preheat your oven to 350 degrees, which I have done. So I'm using a Pillsbury white cake mix as the base. So you could use whatever kind of white cake mix you want. You could even do chocolate or anything like that, but we are using white for the heck of it, I guess. So we have poured our cake mix into our bowl here, and I'm going to go ahead and actually take a whisk and kind of break out any of the clumps in here. So I'm going to be adding a half a cup of oil, 1 cup, and 3 eggs. If you didn't want to use an entire egg, then instead of doing that, you could use 4 egg whites, and instead of using a cup of water, use 1 1/4 cup of water. So now we have everything into our bowl, and we are just going to get this all mixed together. So now here I have a circular cake pan. It doesn't really matter how thin, how thick, or what size cake pan you use as long as you get it cooked. So I'm just using this cake pan that has been greased, and now I'm pouring in our batter. I'm gonna squish ya. So now that we have our batter in our cake pan, I'm just going to pop this in the oven and set the timer for 35 minutes. If it's not done by then we will just continue to bake it until it is completely cooked all the way through. So now we are going to get started on our icing. So the way that I'm going to make the cake pops is whenever it is completely cooked, you're going to take it out and then crumble it up, mix it with icing, and then roll it into balls. Then we will stick it on the sticks and ice that. So we need to get our base of the icing ready, and then we will take out other portions and color them the colors that we would like our cake pop flowers to be. As we pour our powdered sugar into this bowl, I'm going to be sifting it through, because if you just kind of put it in there, there are clumps and they are not too easy to get out. So we're going to nicely sift them as we put in each cup. So we're putting in 1 cup and then giving it a nice sift. So now we have a total of 3 cups of sifted powdered sugar. So now I'm going to add a tablespoon of milk. With powdered sugar, a little goes a very long way when you're adding in liquid. So first we're just going to mix in 1 tablespoon of milk. So now I'm going to cut about 1/3 of a stick of butter, put that in a mug, and pop this in the microwave just to get it nice and melted. So now our butter is melted, and we are going to slowly pour this in a little bit at a time and mix. So I've got all of the butter mixed in, and it has made these little clumps now, which is completely and totally fine. So now we are going to add another tablespoon of milk and mix. So this is coming along really nicely. Now it is pretty clumped together, and really the best way to do this is to add it in slowly like I'm doing, because if you don't, then it might end up a little bit too runny. You just really have to be careful when doing this. So now we are going to add our flavoring. I'm going to be using vanilla, but if you wanted to, you could add in a couple of tablespoons of cocoa powder for chocolate. You could add some lemon extract for a lemon flavor, which would be very, very nice, especially since it is spring. But I'm just gonna go with some classic vanilla, and I am adding 1 teaspoon. Now I'm adding another tablespoon of milk. One last time, I'm taking not quite 1/3 of butter and melting that, and that should be good. So I want you to taste the icing and tell me what you think it tastes like. You are a grown man. It tastes really good. What'd you put in it? Some butter in there? You have to watch the video, I guess. That's very good. So I've just taken the cake out of the oven and looks pretty good to me. So we are going to let this sit here and completely cool before we crumble it up. A, because we don't want to burn ourselves, and B, because it will melt the icing and it won't stick together like it's supposed to. So I'm just going to leave this out here on the counter to cool, and we are going to put the icing in the refrigerator so it doesn't get hard. Okay, so our cake has cooled, not all the way, it is still a little bit warm, but we want that so that it's going to be easier to mix in the icing, but you don't want it hot, it's just barely warm. So I've crumbled it up. You can just put chunks of it in a bowl and then kind of take something like this and go at it, or if you're got your kids in this, working with them, you can have them also pull it apart. So now I'm going to take a little bit of icing and spoon that in, just a little bit, about that much. And now we are going to mix it and get it completely worked in with the cake crumbs.
One more bite.
Just to make sure.
I need one more bite, just to make sure. I need one more bite, just to make sure.
So now I have it all mixed together, and I'm going to take a melon baller to get out some of it, and using my hands, I'm just going to kind of mold that a little bit more to make more of a ball shape. So the icing is now divvied up into 4 different bowls, and I have my 4 different colorings right here. I have blue, purple, pink, and green, and these are actually in the neon colors, so these are going to be nice and bright. So I guess the first color I will start off with is pink. So I'm just putting in 1 drop at a time. So now we have our pink icing, and I'm just going to go in and do the exact same thing with the purple, green, and blue colors. All right, so I have now done all of my colors and getting ready to put these in an icing bag. So you can use a Ziploc bag or any other bag for that matter, a shopping bag, a backpack, a purse. It is very clear to me now my mother is not listening. So this is a Cake Boss icing bag, but you really could just use a Ziploc baggie if you have one. It doesn't matter. So I'm just going to cut a hole in the bottom here with my broken scissors. Alright, so now I have these cute little jars and our sticks. So I'm going to take a little stick and dip it in the icing just to get it coated so that it will stick on the cake ball. I have some pink icing in our bag, and I'm going to start at the top of the pot and go around the pot. And once you are done, you have this really pretty flower looking cake pop. So now we are just going to do this with all of the other colors, and I will see you then. And here you have the finished product. I think this is a really cute thing to do for Mother's Day. So as you can see, I've got the little flower decor going on here. Another thing that you can really do is mix some of the colors, melt them, and then dip it in there for kind of a cool marbled effect. But if you're going with the flower look, I think that is a really cool idea. Something else that you could do if you're doing this with kids to maybe give to your mother or mother-in-law for their Mother's Day present is get a clay pot and then have the kids paint it and then add these inside of it. I think that's a really cool idea too. Definitely give this a big try because it's really worth it. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did like it, give it a big thumbs up and comment down below if you would like to see me maybe do something else. Subscribe to this channel if you have not already. Also give the bell a little ring so you know whenever there is new videos coming out. And as I always say here at the Wheatshire, until next time.